Morning.
Hey guys.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I'm Scott Ramp.
I'm Noelle McAvoy.
And I'm Josh Minnie.
And it's Wednesday morning.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on today.
Yeah.
Garrish Park is out to lunch like always for another couple more weeks until school starts for the college kids.
Oh, don't remind me.
I know.
Don't talk about
it's a month and a half.
Don't.
And also this week it's the kids camp's going on. Oh, Francie was saying, it's like, oh, I can't believe school's only a month and a half away.
So sad.
School is out for summer, but it's slowly
coming back for fall.
For winter.
Speaking of that, we had school board last night. We'll be showing you a little bit of that for the show.
Our Wake Up Missoula correspondent, Melissa Cook, has a story about the firefighter combat challenge that she shot last week.
Awesome.
We have a word on the street.
Yep. And I've got a bunch of events. Stuff going on for today and tomorrow.
We have a phoner with Sergeant Travis Walsh.
And we have art from Rick Phillips.
Nice.
MCAT's very own Rick Phillips, who shoots most of every single city council meeting. I don't know how he does it. Maybe he sleeps. Maybe
he's
transcended sleep and kind of like sleeps with his eyes open and does that at the same time.
Yeah, probably.
We wouldn't have all our great city council footage without Rick Phillips. So if you're out there, Rick, thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, so. Oh, and I have Megs. So I'll start off with a little bit of Megs. But first, actually, here's another first. Here's the prequel to the Megs I'm about to show. And it's called the iCam. And here's some of the iCam. I just called it the iCam. This is our MCAT webcam.
Yeah.
This is downtown Missoula live.
So that is what's happening right now.
Yep. There's that same car. It just feels like this video's on a loop. That same car, I swear.
You see it all the time.
All the time.
Well, he's stopping at a red light responsibly. There's a biker. Oh.
Nice.
Can't sit anymore. Yeah. But
some of the bikers, especially on that street, are awful.
Yeah.
Like they're going the wrong way at the wrong time.
Oh, I
hate that.
Yeah.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves is when I see a biker going down the wrong way on a bike lane.
I'm walking with the kid campers like one week, and we're in front of MCAT shooting some stuff. A biker comes is on the sidewalk.
Really?
He's like right on the sidewalk. Oh, thanks. It's called sidewalk for a reason.
Yeah, not side bike. But I actually am very.
That's the name of my band is called Side Bike.
I am very guilty of going down the wrong way, down the bike lane, but it's only because.
The infrastructure is not good enough?
Well, yeah, and also, like, the route that I come, my work is, like, on that way. I don't know. It just works better for me, and I don't have to go that far.
And
so
if
I'm not biking irresponsibly for a really long time.
So, if you guys are thinking about biking, there's a slight chance of thunderstorms today, but you can expect the temperature to get into the high in the 90s. Currently, it is 59 degrees outside. It feels a little warmer. There's 77% humidity, so the humidity's getting pretty high. Feeling a lot like the East Coast, right, Josh?
That's right.
Later on this week, Thursday, nice sunny day.
Yeah.
It's going to be clear.
Supposed to be 90s all week, rest of the week.
Yep.
Sunday, I kind of like it. What do you guys
And then it's going to be a scorcher on Sunday.
Yeah, scorcher.
Do you like the heat? That's kind of the word on the street question, so.
Yeah, I like it.
Maybe that could be a good segue, but I want to show one little meg because it's going to be a short segment, so we'll show a word on the street after we show this one meg, which is Big Data Week. And
Cool.
Big Data Week was where they examine data and how they can use data to profit and increase social economic change through big data. I think, I was at a couple of them. I don't know who shot this one, but let's see. Where are the megs? Here they are. And here's a little tidbit of it, and it will be appearing on MCAT today.
And what we want to be able to find in it is the evidence, not some evidence, but the evidence, right? My experience is that you go through this big pile of data, and you find 2 or 3 or 4 things the case turns on.
And this is going to be at 4:30 p.m. tonight on MCAT, Missoula Community Access Television. And you, too, can...
Big data is a big deal.
Big data is a big deal.
Missoula is like one of the cities, I don't know, it was like an international week going on, and it was like, big major cities like London and New York.
And then
we're doing
Missoula.
Big Data Week, and then you've got Missoula, so we're a progressive little city.
It's good.
We still need Google Fiber though. Google Fiber.
That'd be cool.
Indeed.
That'd be really cool. But
I still don't know. I mean, like in terms of city council, I don't know what's going on with the current
fiber.
situation of joint trenching. I think that's back to committee because a lot of the companies that would be doing a lot of the road construction are just like, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Or I think it's mostly like a vanity thing. They don't want to be told what to do.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. I mean, it's like we're gonna put these weird wires, these one wires called fiber. With you, and this one is like.
Is that what Google Fiber is, or what is Google Fiber more specific?
The item of joint trenching, what they're doing, I believe, is that they're trying to put in like hubs. It's more kind of like hub related for expansion of Google Fiber. And Missoula was, we did tell Google, we did talk to Google. I do believe we did talk to them, but we just don't have the infrastructure to help Google Fiber get involved here as well.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I digress. Big Data
It's hot.
Week. It's hot. It's going to be on all week, next couple of weeks, Big Data Week. That was happening a couple months ago. It's going to be on MCAT.
Yeah.
Hot data and hot week.
Yes, indeed.
And speaking of hot, we have a little word on the street that Josh made in yesterday.
That's right.
And here we go.
Yeah, all right.
It's very hot. I like it better than winter, so I don't want winter to come back, but it's very hot. Going to lakes. I don't like swimming in rivers because I don't like moving water, but going to the lakes is fun. So.
You know, I'm from Buffalo, so heat is not really my cup of tea at all. I liked the snow a lot better. I've had to work all week, so I've been mostly trying to work in air-conditioned spaces, but I'm hoping to get some floating in soon.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it gives us a reason to go out on the river, hang out.
Yeah, well, floating, just enjoying Montana.
Yeah, some local microbreweries are nice too.
Oh yeah.
Air conditioning.
Yeah, air conditioning, hanging out with friends.
It's expensive, but
yeah.
Well, right now I think after the winter we went through, it's a welcome, but it's a challenge. Wider shade.
About this heat. I think the heat is really terrible, and I'm not staying cool at all. I guess go inside and find shade when possible, but that doesn't seem very possible. I'm from New York, and we have things like buildings that provide shade and stuff. This is there's a lot of sky here, and it's pretty hot.
All right, well, that was word on the street.
I don't know why no one's like excited for this weather. I'm stoked. Like, I mean, do you guys remember winter? You guys remember that blizzard? Do you remember all those avalanches?
That was like our first show.
Yeah.
We walked through the blizzards. Right now, if we had to walk through the blizzard, we'd probably be like, nah, we've been doing this for long enough where we paid our dues. Yeah. And we can take off any days that we feel like taking off. But I think we've been on every single day except for one day? Memorial Day.
Memorial Day. Yeah.
And then each of us kind of like went and left as we went along.
Yeah. But I love the heat. I'm excited that it's summer, and I welcome it. I don't know why everyone's complaining.
I agree.
Because everyone's just going to complain when winter comes. And winter is really long. Yeah.
I feel more natural in the heat. Naturally comfortable. I don't know.
Me too.
Actually, before
go swimming.
Before I show our Wake Up Missoula correspondence story, I want to show a little bit of art.
Okay.
And this is from the Missoula Art Museum, and this is Melanie Yazel, minute and a half. So, actually, that's how long this thing is. Anyways, here's a little taste. Hey,
Nice.
thanks, Rick.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I just like to slow down, enjoy some art.
Yeah.
And that's what you can see at the MAM, and that's art by Melanie Yazel.
Nice.
Melanie Yazel. Get the razzle dazzle with some Yazel at the Missoula Art Museum. Hey, good headline. There's a hook. I should have started with that.
Nice.
Anyways, Melissa Cook is our very own Wake Up Missoula correspondent, and she has a story. She went on the street last week to do the Firefighter Combat Challenge.
Awesome. Good for her.
Yep.
I'm excited to see this.
Yes.
So
me
here
too.
you go.
While others are lighting fireworks, these guys are defending their firefighting title. This past holiday weekend, the Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge held its 405th event. Operations Officer Travis Walsh appreciates the overwhelming amounts of generosity and support for this event.
We're on that track to make it an annual thing. The community loves it. Our department loves it, and we're getting bigger and better racing contingents coming into town, which is our goal. We brought in some great teams out of Canada this year, teams out of Nevada. We have guys coming in from Minnesota, Wyoming, Idaho. So we're reaching a broad range of racers, and it's really fun.
The 6th regional event involves firefighters from the Northwestern region to compete against teams in obstacle courses geared to simulate fire scenarios. Mike Riley from Scott Safety enjoys what the community brings to the event.
We were here last year, and I've been meeting all the Missoula guys, and they're some of my favorites so far of all the firefighters I've met around the country. These guys are really cool. They know their stuff, and they've been hugely helpful in setting everything up. And yeah, we'd love to come back. Yeah.
Contestants must be in peak physical form to withstand the weight of their gear and equipment while successfully navigating the course. Mandy Jago, wife of a contestant, describes the process as long but rewarding.
A lot of working out every day, so they put a lot of effort into it. And then it's, you get one chance to run a race and get a good time, so.
The 2-minute course is a total of 5 events. High-rise pack carry, hose hoist, forcible entry, hose advance, and ending with the victim rescue.
It's a great event, easy to watch. If you're going to come down, please come down and cheer us on. We have a kids version of the course, which is just a scaled down version. Little guys get to spray water and drag hoses and carry dummies. So just like the big guys are doing, kids love it, and we'd like to see everybody down here cheering us on.
Missoula currently holds the world record in the men's division and hopes to appear in the world competition for the 4th time in a row.
3 years in a row, I think we have a good shot at it, and we have a good shot at increasing our standings this year. We're shooting for the top 10 as a team, and I think we'll be sitting pretty good at the end of the year.
The winners of this event receive various awards such as a plaque, medals, and a small cash prize, but also bragging rights.
Big thing is bragging rights, and these guys are competitive, and these are the most fit, physically disciplined firefighters, and they come from all over the country, and they can win, and they can brag that they're the best firefighter.
Besides the prizes, many of the competitors and spectators enjoy the competition
part
itself.
is sort of the camaraderie of the crowd. I like that there's never a negative. You're not booing somebody else because you're cheering your own guys. I like the general feel that everybody's supportive of everybody. It's just, it's got a good feel. It's a good day.
These guys are heroes. They're the ones who save our lives when we're in trouble.
In Missoula, I'm Melissa Cook.
All right, we're back with Sergeant Travis Walsh. He's here to talk to us about locking up your bikes and making sure you do it well. How you doing, Sergeant Walsh?
I'm good this morning, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, so tell us a little bit about what you're here to talk about.
Well, every summer around this time, or when people start to really get out on their bicycles and enjoy the summertime weather, we see that bicycles become an increasing target for theft. And we just like to remind people to secure your bicycles when you're not with them. Use a good sturdy lock. Put them in your garage or take them in your house, whatever you feel that you need to do to make sure that you don't become the victim of theft.
Definitely. My roommates got their bikes stolen. They just had them underneath the porch, and they weren't locked up. So tell us what are some of the better locks that you can use? Because I know that some of the locks there's some locks that are good, and then there's some locks that are better.
Well, something that has good sturdy construction, the kryptonite or the U-shaped locks that are made out of solid metal, those are good ones, probably some of the best. Anything with a heavy chain and a good sturdy lock is going to serve you better than some of the things that you can get commercially, which tend to be pretty lightweight and can be defeated pretty easy with a good pair of bolt cutters. If you value your bicycle, it's probably worth spending a little more money to get something that's going to secure it.
Okay, that sounds great. And what do you do if your bicycle's stolen, or if you find a bike? Or I guess.
Well, I guess to begin with, what I would suggest is that people considering getting a bike license, which you can get them here at City Hall, they're relatively inexpensive, and it provides a sticker that is affixed to your bike. It has a number to it, and bicycles with those numbers affixed can be easily identified if, in fact, we recover it and a person comes down here looking for it. If your bike is stolen, we'd ask people call 911 or come to the police department and make a report so that we have it on file. If a bicycle is recovered, we can match it to that report. If you find a bicycle, you can also call 911 and have it picked up as lost or abandoned. We would also then hold that bicycle here for anybody that could come looking for it and hopefully return it to the rightful owner.
Okay, great. Let's see. Is there anything else? Do you guys have any questions?
No.
Okay.
That covers it all.
Yeah.
I think that covers it all.
Is there
too.
anything else we should know about this?
No, other than, bicycles are a great form of transportation. There are a lot of good ones out there, and they are the target for thieves. And if you have one, secure it properly.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for being on the show, Sergeant Welsh. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
That was Sergeant Welsh.
Yep.
We're from the Missoula Police Department.
Bikes are like gold. They really are. You got to get a good lock. Do you guys have good locks in your bike?
I actually have a lock, but it's the kind that you can cut with. I gotta get a better lock, but my bike is.
So you would say you would have some weak sauce?
I have some weak sauce, yeah.
He has weak sauce. Yeah. Bike lock.
Bike lock, yeah. My bike is. It's not the greatest bike, but so I guess that's my excuse, but I should have a better lock on it, indeed, if I want it to be not stolen.
Yeah.
Right. So
true.
when we come back, we'll have some more events to talk about. But here is a little art from the Tainted Revelation from the
I did talk about this a couple weeks ago, actually. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see the Tainted Revelations.
And it's all at the Missoula Art Museum. To find out more information, go to the Missoula Art Museum's website.
Indeed.
Check it out. Okay,
Yeah.
wow. We've got some events going on. So this
Sorry,
is
I went up with my inflection at the end. But
Yeah,
anyways, I digress.
Okay. Well, anyway, here we've got some events. So today is Out to Lunch, as we mentioned earlier. This is every Wednesday through June, July, and August, and it is a weekly performing arts festival at Caris Park where they have 20 different vendors and they have music and food and kids activities. So it's from 11 to 2, and the kids activity is a flagship program, and music is by Mudslide Charlie.
Yep. And I like a lot of the new vendors that they have there. There's a lot of new vendors.
Really?
Mhm.
Nice.
They got masalas.
Oh, yeah.
Indian food.
Yum.
And they have saucer sandwiches.
Yum.
It's basically a sandwich where they like push it down and then it becomes like it looks, I don't know, like
It's just crazy.
It's like a shot put. You
God.
shot put
A sandwich
and
into your mouth.
In your mouth.
That sounds amazing.
Anyways,
Get down there, everyone, and shot put sandwiches in your mouths.
Indeed.
I see one of my favorite things coming up.
Oh, little bits, make a neuron. So Spectrum Discovery Area is on Front Street, and they always have a lot of really, really cool hands-on science things for kids. And so today at 11, they are doing the Discovery Bench activity is Little Bits, and then the Brain Lab activity is Make a Neuron. So you can go to spectrum.umt.edu to find out more information on what those are.
Or you can say Josh Menny sent you because
Yeah,
his sister-in-law is
sister-in-law
like
works there.
god of Spectrum.
Yeah.
She is, yeah.
Spectrum God.
Yes.
Goddess,
yeah.
Come on. But it's $3.50 per person, and children 3 and younger are free. Yeah. And then there is face painting today at the Children's Museum at 11:30. It's from 11:30 to 12:30, and you can just go into the art room and get your face painted. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, you get whatever you want. Sounds like it's going to be fun. It's on 225 West Front Street, and you can call 541-7529 for more information on that one. At 4 o'clock today at the Missoula Public Library, there is middle school writers.
Mm-hmm.
This is every Wednesday from 4 to 5, and it's just a place for middle school kids to go in there and get feedback on their writing and their papers and eat some chocolate and hang out. Yeah, and so...
Isn't Lego Club also at today?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's Thursday.
Oh, it's on Thursday.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Those are my Thursday
I don't want to rush
events,
it. I have a story from there.
Yeah, Lego Club. I know, I want to go. And then today at 5 p.m., is yoga for chronic pain. And I do believe that this is every Wednesday from 5 to 6. It's an ongoing class. It's $40 for 6 weeks. But there is a prerequisite, which is a private session with the gal that does it. Her name is Dina Sadie, and it's $50. And so the prerequisite, you have to just like have a screening with her so she can make sure that you are able to take this yoga class, because it is for chronic pain.
Nice.
And so like in the chronic pain yoga class, you'll learn how repetitive pain affects the nervous system and explore the uses of gentle yoga, mindful meditation, guided visualization, and breath work to lessen your pain. The goal of this class is to assist you in reducing your long-term pain. And so if you suffer from chronic back pain, fibromyalgia, arthritis, or various other conditions which have led you to experience pain for 6 months or more, this class may be for you. So check it out. Like, yoga is really, really, really good
And
for you.
there's a prerequisite for my class. You have to interview with me. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a word association. When I say a word, name the first thing that pops into your head.
Okay.
Yoga.
Yoda.
You're in. See, that's my prerequisite.
Nice.
And it costs $500. Anyways.
Don't sign up.
Don't sign
up. Yeah. But this is just a really good outlet for people that are suffering with chronic pain and want to help lessen it, or maybe find an alternative to it.
Yeah, that seems great.
Yeah. So to schedule an appointment for the prerequisite or find out more about the class, you can call 721-0033, and then the address is 825 West Kent Avenue.
Yoda.
So there is open mic night tonight at 5 p.m. This is the Starving Artist Cafe and Gallery, and this place is 3020 South Reserve Street.
Huh, never heard of this place.
Yeah, so it's on Reserve Street. It's a little bit out there, but they've got an open mic night, and, it's community driven, so yeah.
It could be one of those places across from Larchmont.
Yeah. Yeah. So they have open mic night if you're interested in that. They're at the ZAC tonight. There's a 6 to 7:30 glass fusing orientation class. And the Zootown Arts Community Center always has a lot of really, really good stuff going on there. They're located on the north side, and the glass fusing orientation class costs $15 plus the cost of glass. And this introductory class will cover the basics of glass. You'll learn the kilning process to slumping, fusing, mold making, and glass aftercare. And then once you've attended this glass fusing studio orientation, you can come into their workshop and then just like use whatever materials you want anytime. So yeah, so that's really neat. You can go to www.zootownarts.org for more information on that, and yeah, just to find out more stuff. At the Missoula Public Library tonight, there's an outdoor survival skills class. This class will cover the basics of survival, which includes the 3 priorities: shelter, warmth, water, and signaling. And then you'll also put together a survival kit. The class is, the class is something that everyone who utilizes backcountry should know, and it's just a good resource. We do live in the mountains pretty much, and so it's a good idea to find out, you know, how to survive, just in case. It goes from 6 to 8, and this class will maybe taken alone or maybe combined with a 2-day outing on July 12th through 13th, where the new skills will be put into action. You can RSVP the guy that puts it on. His name is Mike at JARNEVIC Jarvinick at earthlink.net. Or you can go to www.montana.sierraclub.org/outings, and that'll give you more information on that one. And then tonight at 8 p.m., Missoula City Band concerts. And you're in the City Band, right?
I just wanted to give a shout out to, we call them Tiny Dancer. You may know them as the dancing couple that always dances at Karis Park, and all that stuff. I just wanted to give a shout out to them because the guy, we call him Tiny Dancer, he had a heart attack last year, and he had to slow himself down, so that's why he's not in Bonner Park anymore. It's sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had to shorten his trip to Brazil to a month. He was there for a month.
That's too bad.
It's like, oh, only a month in
darn.
Brazil. Darn.
Wish I could be in Brazil for only a month.
Yep. So that's it for Wednesday.
Yeah, that's it for Wednesday. And then there's karaoke at the Badlander tonight.
Cool.
So that's always fun. And then next up, we've got Thursday events. There's a 3D painting workshop for kids with Susie Richaud. This is at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the E3 Convergence Gallery. And July is Kids Month at the E3 Convergence Gallery, and they're having a special art workshop. Children ages 7 through 12 are invited to create a three-dimensional painting inspired by their favorite wild creature and its environment.
Wait, isn't a 3D painting like a sculpture?
What would you make your, like a sculpture? But my question is, if you were in this class, what animal would you choose to make?
Ooh,
Yoda.
That's a good question. Probably something like a lion or a tiger. Something cool like that. Yeah.
A cat.
Myself.
Yeah, a large cat. Yeah. Large cats are cool. They're really cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd do that. What about you?
Let me think. I would do a sea turtle.
Nice. Something underwater.
Yeah.
What about you, Scott?
Yoda.
Scott's just in Star Wars land forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so it is okay, so all the materials are going to be provided, and the finished artwork will have a chance to hang in the gallery afterwards for the rest of July. This costs $13 for one child with an adult, $5 for each additional child per family, and if you've reserved ahead, or it's just $15 at the door. There's limited space for only 20 children and their families, so you got to save your spot now. You can call 830-3168 if this sounds like something that you want to do. There is a Gold Dust Sustainable Communities Tour. Over on the north side, there are these apartments called the Gold Dust, and they are sustainable apartments, and they have rooftop gardens. And so Homeward, which is a housing counseling education program and company, or organization, they are gonna go on a 1-hour tour through the Gold Dust apartments to talk about sustainable apartments and to talk about the rooftop garden.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think rooftop gardens are like the best idea.
I think so too. They're neat. So light lunch and beverages are provided. It's free and open to the public. You can RSVP to Jessica at homeward.org. So it's Jessica at homeward.org, or you can call 532-4663 extension 16. Cool. There is tomorrow at 1, there's a senior Roman congregate meals. This is on the lawn behind Heritage Hall at Fort Missoula. July 10th and July 22nd from 1 to 3. You're going to enjoy a midsummer picnic-style sandwich lunch and tour the grounds and the Historical Museum. So call 728-7682 if that sounds like something that you are interested in. So now we get to the weekly events that are always at the library. Every Thursday, there's Read Dogs, which I love this. This is so cute. Where you can just go in and read to a sweet little doggy that'll listen to you. It's from 3 to 4 at the library, Dragon Rug in the children's area.
Well, are you gonna read to your dog? You read to your dog, Walter, don't you?
I talk to my dog. I haven't yet read to him. Maybe I will now.
Yeah, you should.
I will. I'll do it.
He wants to know some novels.
Oh, we should. We're gonna film it and then show it for Up Missoula. Oh, that's right. I should have done that. Oh, never mind. I'll do that later.
And then there's Lego Club. Lego Club is also every Thursday at 3:30 at the Missoula Public Library from 3:30 to 5. Dragon Rug in the children's area, so you can read to some dogs and then you can play with Legos. Cool. That sounds like my ideal day.
Don't let the dogs eat the Legos.
Story. When the kids are in camp.
Yeah.
You know, Francine.
Yeah.
She was like talking about Lego Club. I was talking about Lego. We were like hanging out with Legos. We're doing stop animation with Legos and clay or Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm.
What I told him is like, oh yeah, you know, Missoula Public Library always has like a Lego club where they just like play with Legos every week, and like one of the kids was like, oh, I did that before. It's boring.
Oh.
I know, right? Ew.
Well, you have to.
And Francine's like, I want to go there all the time.
Yeah, you have to have imagination. Yeah, of course it's going to be boring if you don't put any imagination into it. That's what Legos are for. But it's from 3:30 to 5 in the Dragon Rug in the children's area. Lego and Duplo pieces are provided. And then children under 12 must be accompanied by an adult. And then there is Native Plant Garden and Work Day tomorrow at Fort Missoula. You'll help weed, plant, and build the Fort Missoula Native Plant Garden, and the education topic for this week will be on the identification of native plants, and that'll be from 4 to 6 tomorrow. There's a downtown drop-in wine tasting below the Old Post at La Grada Bella. This is every Thursday at 5. The cost is $10, and there's a minimum of 4 wines and a different theme each week, and I'm not sure of what the theme is today or tomorrow. And then, as well as downtown, dinner out to lunch, they have Downtown Tonight, which is every Thursday. And it's at 5:30, I believe it's 5:30 to 8:30 in Caris Park. And it's just like out to lunch, but in the evening. And they also have alcohol. And so it's just a bunch of different food vendors, and they have music and kids' activities. So the kids' activity for tomorrow is YMCA, and the music is Best of Missoula. Cool. I'm not sure what that is, but that'll be fun to check out. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of music tomorrow night. There's music at Draftworks, The Top Hat, Zootown Arts Community Center, The Palace, Dark Horse, Monks, Sunrise Saloon. There's open mic night at Sean Kelly's and the Broadway. There's trivia at the Holiday Inn at 7:30 and the Lucky Strike at 8. And there's karaoke at the Dark Horse. And then if you want to find out more about any of these events or find out where I get all of my information, it's MissoulaEvents.net. That'll tell you everything that I've told you now.
Yep, and Wednesday and Thursdays are always great days for especially community events for the community.
Yeah, so that's what's going on for today and tomorrow. Yeah. So next up, school board.
Next up, school board. Yeah, let's talk about some school board.
Every month,
go ahead.
Every month, the Missoula County Public Schools have their regular meeting, and this is in the summer, so they're getting a lot of their technical stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, getting a lot of their technical stuff out of the way. One of the things that they talked about was getting rid of the valedictorian label. And yeah, because they said they were using it improperly. Basically, whenever kids got a 4.0, they would get a valedictorian, and that's not.
Because like my high school had 11 valedictorians.
Yeah.
So the concept of valedictorian, they all have 4.0s, but valedictorian, in my mind, should be like exemplified not only a 4.0, but more of like a their personality and like more involvement they put into the school, the community, and all that stuff. Totally. Somebody's a great representation of their school.
Yep. Yeah. So let's take a listen here.
And at high school specifically, the recommendation was to remove the inaccurate valedictorian label given to all 4.0 students in those places where it's the current practice. Sealy Swan High School does recognize valedictorians using the appropriate and accurate label for a valedictorian. But instead, at the schools that are using that label inaccurately, is to recognize the highest quality, well-rounded students in a similar way that uses the concept of the medallion at Big Sky High School. So the principals have gotten together at the high school level and begun to develop that criteria. All of those recommendations were shared with the building principals in spring of 2013. We received comments from them, and the principals were appreciative of the consistency of the recommendations across the levels, and many such activities have already been in place for a number of schools. It was just a way to make those even more consistent across our schools. In fall of 2013, the regional directors met with the high school principals regarding the recommendations that were specific to high school, and the high school principals agreed to remove that valedictorian label over time, beginning with the class of 2017. So that was this year's freshman class. And by fall of 2014, principals will have created criteria and consistency with input from staff, students, and families for the annual principal award to be given at the commencement ceremony.
All right, so that was let me take a look at my book. Anyway, that was
Dr. Heather Davis Schmidt.
Davis Schmidt, yeah.
I've done the school board forever, so yeah. I know them all. Like, oh, how are your kids, Dave and Jan?
See, yeah, that's Dr. David. I've only been doing school board for a little bit, but that was Dr. Heather Davis Schmidt, and she was talking about how they were going to replace the valedictorians with the principal award.
But I appreciate all the help you do for me for the school board stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're welcome, Scott.
Yeah,
anytime.
You're an amazing person. And so good looking too. See, I told you I'd make things awkward.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well, we could keep talking about this a little bit. They keep talking about this a little bit. So let's listen to what they have to say.
Heather, going back to the change in the valedictorian process, do you want to just talk briefly about how that has been being dealt with both the staff and the student bodies, and where that is, and what the process is going to be for just dissemination of information?
Sure. So the principals have been tasked with communicating that information to families as well as staff and students, so that there aren't any expectations that that label will continue over time. But part of the desire to do that over time was that there were many students and families that had been used to that tradition over time. So we didn't want to do away with it immediately.
Trustee Lorenzen.
Well, I think it's interesting. When I was in high school, I graduated in '79 from Hellgate. And Hellgate, at least at that time, wasn't using the term valedictorian. I think it was considered outdated, and it was a recognition that kids could dodge harder classes in order to maintain a GPA. I think they had something called top 10. I don't know that it meant much because it wasn't a big deal, because I think there was more of a sense that students should feel free to grow and take chances in high school, and those clinging to that 4.0. And we heard from one of the Sentinel speakers, I think last year, that one girl called them up and said the worst thing I did in high school was cling to my 4.0.
Okay,
and so I think
they're talking about interesting what they're talking about, but it is indeed interesting. Yeah. So yeah, what do you guys think about getting rid of the valedictorian label?
Well, what is the definition of it? Just being an outstanding citizen and having a 4.0?
Well, I think for my
exemplary student.
I think for my class, when I graduated, there was only one valedictorian. So
that's how it was for my high school too.
Yeah. So apparently at these high schools, there's multiple valedictorians.
I mean, in one way, you're eliminating having the elite few to the elite one, and then it still falls in the same category as a lot of times nowadays. A lot of the schools are trying to be fair with all the students.
Yeah.
But it's also good to have some kind of competition with school. You have to with academics. You have to have a reason why a lot of kids like to do testings, all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, the whole valedictorian thing is like a overall kind of like reflection of who the best student was.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what they're doing with these principal awards. The next subject that they talked about is doing memorials for people who pass away. That could be people who are local people or are also national people. And what this is a policy that they're talking about, and basically the idea is that it's a separation of church and state where there will be no, the idea behind this policy was that there will be no celebration of life, no memorials, nothing that is sort of somewhat religious. So let's hear the argument. It starts out with Dr. Knapp, and let's hear what he has to say.
Funerals, memorial services, or celebration of an individual's life will not be conducted, which would suggest to me that following the death of Martin Luther King, President John Kennedy, you name it, the death of the astronauts on the Challenger. I mean, there have been a number of events like this that have been truly national events that would be prohibited based upon this policy.
I don't necessarily read it that way, but I can see your interpretation.
Megan?
I can see that it can be read that way. I do not believe that that was ever the intention. It was to, I think, recognize that instead of some people calling funerals, they call it celebrations. But I can see what you're bringing up. I don't think it necessarily applies for Martin Luther King Day because that's a national holiday, but other events that are maybe not recognized with a holiday, as you mentioned, the Kennedy assassination or the Challenger explosion, potentially. The best I can recommend to ensure that those celebrations continue is to send the policy back.
All right, so that's them talking about funerals and ceremonies and how basically the policy, they don't want to have that. And I think the deeper lying argument here is separation of church and state.
Yeah, I think so too. But I mean, if they call it a celebration of life, and that's exactly what a funeral is a celebration of life, how, you know, I guess.
Like one example of a school used memorial, well, they're Loyola, but they're not part of the Missoula County Public School system, so their funding isn't directly from the state, from the government, because public schools, you know, they are government funded.
Yeah.
But Loyola, they had a memorial in place for the L up on the mountain. Yep, it's a memorial for somebody.
And that's a nice thing to do. Like, that was, you know, a tragedy in our community, and it should be acknowledged. But.
And then, so the next thing that they're talking about is, well, what if somebody dies? Do you talk about it, or do you not talk about it at all? So
well, I just want to say one more thing, and also it's like, you know, they just like, you know, they were talking about like memorials of people who died, and they named schools after people. In memorial, you know, you have John F. Kennedy School. It was like, I mean, like they're part of the government. Like in Martin Luther King, they make a school, Martin Luther King High School. He wasn't part of the government.
And there's Martin Luther King Day that we celebrate that too, which is.
I mean, it's the lines are very like.
Blurred.
Are blurred on that aspect of it, but when it comes to like naming the school after, you know, Josh Schminney High School, it's just kind of like. It's like, oh, you know, was he like a public official and stuff like that? It's like, oh, no, he's just some guy and who did a lot of cool stuff. I don't know. It's just like very interesting how like what are exceptions and what aren't exceptions. But then let's continue on.
It is interesting.
Yeah, indeed it is. Let's hear what they have to say about talking about people who pass away.
Okay.
Trustee Tompkins.
So going back, I think the one that stands out for me is the memorial service celebrations of an individual's life. So say a student dies, you don't talk about it at all in classroom setting?
We do not talk about it in a celebration of life or a funeral kind of service at all on our property.
Okay.
Trevor, and
okay, so that's them. So basically, that's Heather Davis Schmidt saying we don't have funerals, not on our property.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, could they always they have vigils? You know, like some places do vigils for a lot of the students who have died, and a lot of times they put them in the yearbook, which is a completely other thing. It's like something that's sponsored by many different sponsors. Like the yearbook committee has to find sponsors and stuff like that. So that's not directly part of the school, because if the school funded the yearbook, then it would be pretty plain.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, now they're talking to the principal who's on the committee and asking him, what do you deal with when one of your students die?
as a principal, how would you have dealt with something like that? I mean, kids, because I know that we've had...
No, you definitely talk about it. You do stress management, essentially. It's a traumatic event, and in order to get kids back to a place where they can learn, you have to be prepared with a mental health, basically, onslaught, and that's where the district really comes together, and community members come in for that. We've used both outside and inside groups to help students get through that process. But that's a very organized, planned out procedural piece that we have in place where you definitely talk about it. There's debriefings, there's defusings, teachers are given statements, you want to stick to facts, you want to get back to normalcy. And that's really what I think a lot of this is about. Is it's very difficult when, and unfortunately I've been in this circumstance a lot of times, when you lose a student and you definitely want to be there for kids and for the entire community, but you've also got a job to do, and that's to get kids back to a place where they can learn. But you don't just gloss over it, you address it, and there's a lot of research on that. There's a lot of best practice, and I bet any school psych in our district could speak to this, not just what we do after an event, but the policy and why some of the things came up in that policy.
Thanks.
So he's going to continue on, and he's going to also, the same guy is going to talk about how you deal with national crisis events like September 11th or like, assassination of a president or something like that. So let's listen to what he has to say.
It's because I just wanted to make sure that the discussion was starting to sound like we were going to ignore issues, and that was the clarification I was looking for. Thank you.
And I would say the same thing to Dr. Knapp about, a major event like 9/11 or a president's death or anything. That's a traumatic event that you would want to address. I mean, that's an educational opportunity as well, but you have to address those things.
And along those lines, maybe Heather, you can answer this then. If, God forbid, there was something like that happened, and we wouldn't be forbidden. This policy is not going to forbid us from talking about it. It's just going to it's not going to forbid, but it's going to avoid a situation where we create a celebration or a funeral for that particular person.
Essentially, funerals and memorial services. That really is the whole point. And I think that Megan and Marcia talked about the ability to detail and define exactly what a funeral is, a memorial service, a celebration of life in the procedures will help.
Thank you.
All right, so yeah, I think I'm going to end on that, but because
interesting.
Yeah, interesting to talk about funerals, celebration of life.
And so they don't want funerals or memorial services on school property. That's what they're getting at. Okay.
But actually, they see, this policy was enacted by Heather Davis Schmidt, or not enacted, but it's being put forward by her. Mm-hmm. So actually, what happened was the policy was sent back.
Okay.
So they're still working it out.
There's a lot of kinks to it.
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
They got to clear up a lot of information, like what's an exception, what's not an exception. Yeah, it's just right now it's just kind of really confusing. Mm-hmm. Even to me, it's just like, someone dies, you really want to, I would be like, oh, you're not allowed to celebrate the person's life after the person died. It's kind of unfair to the most part, especially if it hit hard to home.
I think so too. And you have to talk about it. Like what that principal said is that you need to that's how you work it out, is by talking about it and saying your feelings and, getting it all out on the table. And so it's good because you do have to debrief and you do have to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
I really think so.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
And I mean, like Dr. Knapp was saying, when he was in high school, actually, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and they actually watched his funeral during school. So he was citing that memory in his life and how kind of important that was for him. So
yeah, it is important.
Under this policy, as it was, they wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah, and at my school, when I was going to elementary school, when 9/11 happened, they set up TVs and we watched the story. Like CNN was on pretty much the whole day.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, and like, I think it's only fair to educate the children on what is going on because they live in this country too.
Yeah, they know what's going on, whether we tell them directly or indirectly.
They're smart. Kids are smart, and you can't really hide stuff from them.
And they totally pick up on all your vibes too.
They do. They're smart, and they know.
Like this camp, it's like they don't let you get away with anything.
Yeah, these kids. Yeah,
they're smart.
They are smart, and they're quick, and they're witty.
Yeah.
You can't really.
But some of them don't
hide
get sarcasm, which is funny.
Yeah, that is funny. Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of camps, we have summer camps still going on, and we have 8 spots in our bonus summer camp for any kids who still needs available, who still wants to get in on it, aged 9 to 13, exceptions for smart 8-year-olds and dumb 14-year-olds. But yeah, we have a lot of great kids. We have a lot of kids returning.
They're very fun.
Here's our website. You can find out more information about our summer camp, see some of our photos. I mean, our movie making camp, just to clarify some things, 1 spot only. But we're
1 spot left.
1 spot. And it's pretty much full. And it's going to be from July 28th through the August 1st is our last camp. Then our bonus camp is on July 21st to the 25th. And that is our animation camp where we use stop animation. We also make live action movies. But yeah.
And how's this week going? I know
it's going great.
It's fun. It's super fun.
A lot of the kids are,
they're good at it too. They do a really
lot of them know what they're
good job.
doing. We let them do what they need to do. There's been some, creative differences, like always. It's like, I want explosions. Oh, I want shotguns. And it's like...
Yeah. But we compromise, and they're all working together really well and doing a good job, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
And what do you guys are doing something special today, right?
Oh, we're going to the firehouse today.
We're going to the firehouse today. So there was no live show. There's not going to be a live show today with the kids. There was live shows last 2 days. A couple of my friends told me that they watched the show, and they're just like, that's weird.
They said it was weird?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious. The kids are really funny.
But we're going to be live
tomorrow.
On Thursday and Friday from 4:45 to 5.
And then Friday is...
I think it's 5 to 5:30 or something.
I thought it was 4:30 to 5.
It should be in the paper. You just look for it. It should be on our website schedule. You can find out a lot of information on our website at mcat.org, or you can also go to our Facebook page on Facebook. It should be under the Torch browser. I still have a Torch.
It'll be Wake Up Missoula.
It should be under Wake Up Missoula. And here's our cute little picture of us 3.
Ask us questions on there, or comments, or opinions, or anything.
Yep.
Like,
and
what is
we will
the
address
first thing that you think of when Scott says yoga?
Yeah.
Yoga.
Yogurt.
Green.
Sun salutations.
Yes. Yeah. Irish yoga.
So yeah, definitely check us out on Facebook and share your thoughts and opinions.
But I do believe this is our show.
I'll hit the Oscar music.